Hello, Mets fan here in the Philippines. The Mets won 2 out of 3 versus the Braves. We did split the series 3-3 home series with the Cardinals that we lost 2 games. And overall, like I said, it's 3-3. The disappointment was that I thought that we could beat the Cardinals. And they're the leaders in the wild card. We would have slowed them down and that would have been more, the teams would be more crunched to try to compete for those spots. Now, as of right now, we're 5 games back. There's games being played. The Reds are on rain delay. Eli De La Cruz will be injured when we go face him tomorrow. Not only that, their top 2 relievers or 2 of their top relievers are injured right now. So that's a pro for us, the Mets. Not only that, this is the way I saw this game. Like I said, I was disappointed with the Cardinals, but right now I'm still hopeful. Peralta, I felt that on the first game versus the Cardinals, his stock value has dropped. And on the first inning of this game, I felt it was dropping as well. The Braves not only got 1 run, we're lucky they only got 1 run, but at the same time, Freddie Peralta had 28 pitches at that first inning. And I felt that he was not going to survive 5 innings, but he did. He managed to pitch 6 innings. And another good thing is we used Yonel Perez and Duarte right behind him, and we saved our top relievers for the Reds game. And two things contributed to that. Number one is that we took the lead, and number 2, we took a big lead that we used our relief pitchers that we could take a risk for 2-3 more runs and save our top relief pitchers. Now, when it comes to Juan Soto, he did try to bunt on the first inning. We didn't have no runs at that point. I was disappointed. Carson Benge got thrown out at third base at that point. We lost our top speedster that could score. Now we have first and second with 1 out. The good thing is that Jerry Young got an RBI. Ewing, I believe, is the other player that got an RBI. Not only that, Ewing had a single, double, and a home run. Once again with Juan Soto, he did get those 2 RBIs in the 8th inning, and Ewing was next at bat, trying to go for the cycle. For me, I would have told Juan Soto with 1 out, run. Try to steal a base. Why for that? It's because that would give all these bases open so Ewing could just run for a triple, but he struck out. But that was just my mind, the way I was thinking. Brett Beatty, I believe he got on base 4 times, 2 times walking, 2 times hits. So that's another pro sign. Carson Benge also got walked in the first inning. I believe that was his first walk as a leadoff. Not only that, we are the second worst team when it comes to getting walks. That means that the OPS and the average are close by, kind of close. That means that we're not walking. Not only that, one of the things that helped us was I don't know how to say his name, Jastrzemski. When the ball got hit to the left field, he threw it to the pole, and we got 1 run. Carlos Mendoza went over there and tried to complain about it, that the foul pole was on the outside of the game, and that would allow the players to advance 2 bases. Like, I never seen that rule before, so it was good to know that you're not allowed to, because the pole is actually in the fairground territory, even though it's on the fan side of the fence. But something that you learn. Another thing that I want to cover is Marcus Semien. He challenged a call. I know Keith Hernandez said, I don't know why he's trying to challenge. The game is 8-1. But at the same time, I believe that he's the worst player to challenge calls. That's 3 calls that I've seen that he challenged, and all 3 were unsuccessful today. I believe yesterday or the day before. And one that he tried to bunt, and the ball was directly on the middle of the plate. And he challenged that ball. That's why I was kind of disappointed on that. And other things that I want to cover is from yesterday is Mark Vientos. Mark Vientos, I believe we won yesterday. But one thing about Mark Vientos, they were talking that basically he's struggling. And on first base, he's struggling. And on the pop-up, he did drop it. It was a foul ball drop. Even though that we could say that there was no run scored, we have to focus on how many extra pitches Chaminade had to pitch. Because we needed our bullpen to survive. And the good thing is, with today, our bullpen is now stretched for 2 days. The top relief pitchers rested, or at least some of the top relief pitchers. Because right after that play that he dropped, Chaminade, the ball was hit to Chaminade. Chaminade grabbed it, threw it to the shortstop at second base. That was Brujan playing there. He's short. He had to jump for the ball. He couldn't get the double play. And the inning kept on playing. Even though there was no runs, we have to focus on the amount of pitches that the pitchers are taking that is causing this, how can I say this, these pitchers to last less. But the good thing, Chaminade did last, I believe, 5 innings. I believe Freddie Peralta, he lasted 5 innings. Perez, 0.2. Duarte, 1 point. Actually, that was yesterday. Perez, 0.2. Peralta was 5. Was that today? Yeah, it was today. Wow. I didn't focus on Minter pitching. I know Bracelon pitched, but I did not see Minter. I do apologize for that part. I don't remember it. But anyways, from yesterday, I believe that I just want to double check on this before I start talking. Is that Chaminade, I believe, lasted 5 or 6 innings. Not only that, actually the Mets lost, but he lasted 6 innings, which helped our pitching. And Duarte also pitched. Warren was the only key relief pitcher that pitched on that game. But like I said, we won 2 out of 3 games. The game that we won was the first game. Once again, I apologize on that. Sometimes I don't focus on what day we won. I just try to keep track on the series. We did win the first game, 7-5 on the first game. Now, like I said, I'm still hopeful. This is my point of view on the Braves. I don't see them as the top team. Maybe because I didn't see Chris Sale. Strider was struggling. Aldo didn't look that sharp for me. That I feel that they need another pitcher. This is my own point of view as a Mets fan. And that alone raises the stock of Freddie Peralta once again. Because there's going to be teams are going to go try to go for Scooble, Dodgers, Cubs, Braves, maybe the Phillies. The Phillies have good pitching, but they may want to cover that number 3 starter on a 3-game series to be a competitive. And right now I feel that the Braves need that number 3 or a number 3 and put that number 3 as a long relief so they could cover the games. That is if the Mets struggle at the end. Reminder, the Mets are facing the Phillies. They're facing the Reds. They're facing next month the Phillies. I believe the Reds as well. I believe the Phillies twice. These are very important games for the Mets if we want to win. And that's all I got for the Mets. Bo Bichette does look good. He hit those 2 home runs in the first game. He's looking good. Juan Soto, top notch. Ewing is looking sharp again. Hopefully he plays all games with Cincinnati. It kind of makes sense yesterday why they didn't put him in there. They're trying to reserve a speedster. They put Brujan as a shortstop, and you already have a speedster playing. So now you're probably putting Ewing on the bench and coming in later just in case you need a pinch runner or a pinch hitter. I may not disagree at that point, but having 3 speedsters, I'd rather have those 2. Another thing is Lindor. They say by the end of the month he might come back. That's another plus sign for the Mets. Everything is looking good besides for Polanco. And I don't know what's going on with Luis Roberts. Nobody knows. I don't know nothing about him. I try to not keep focus on the injured players unless they are brought up by the announcers, which they haven't said nothing about Luis Roberts in the last 3-4 days. But that's all I got. Thank you, and thank you for watching. Let's go Mets. The Mets are looking good right now. If we win those 3 games, we already jumped over the Reds. If we sweep them, that is a key obstacle right there. And like I said, we're facing the Reds, then we're facing the Phillies, the Cubs, and the Phillies again. These are very important games with only 1 day of rest, and then we go to Toronto. Right after that, the following month, we go to Atlanta, KC, Boston, the All-Star game, take rest. Right after that, Phillies, Milwaukee, Dodgers, the Braves, and the Marlins. One bright side about the All-Star is I don't think none of our pitchers are going to nobody's going to vote for our pitchers. That means that they have 4 games of rest. They might only invite Juan Soto, which is fine with me with the All-Star. Just have our pitchers rest. They don't deserve it. That's just me being honest. And they deserve to take that rest. And that would be key. Because not only that, so right now we have Cionel Perez, which we got from waivers, I believe, or DFA. Someone DFA'd him. We brought him in. And we have Tobias Myers still in the minors. They could come back. We have Kodai Senga still in the minors. They could come back. Jonathan. We have all these pitchers that are I don't want to say rested, but they could rest in the minors and we could bring them up. And hopefully they could pitch fresh or more, a little bit more of a fresh arm compared to the ones that we have right now, because our relief pitchers are taking a toll because our pitchers are not lasting that long. Manai, like I said, 6 innings, that's good. Freddie Peralta, everybody calls him 5-inning Peralta. He got 5 innings. And that's all I got. Thank you, and thank you for watching. Let's go Mets once again. Cincinnati and the Phillies away. We need to win these games. Hopefully we don't face Sanchez. Hopefully we don't face Wheeler. But worst case scenario, we face both of them. Thank you, and thank you for watching.